How many different types of mutual funds are there out there?
Oh, there are thousands and thousands of mutual funds. Yeah, absolutely.
Or is a mutual fund the same thing as a 401k?
No, so the 401k is just the vehicle, right? The mutual fund is going to be what you actually put your money into. So once you have a 401k, usually your job is going to give you with a menu pretty much of saying, look, these are the 30 different mutual funds that you can put your money into.
Okay.
And what a mutual fund is basically pooled funds. So for example, instead of buying an individual stock, let's say you want to invest in technology.
Yeah.
Instead of buying, say, AT&T stock, you can buy a technology mutual fund that has 30 stocks. So it might already have Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, Google, Amazon, right? So you're diversifying your money within that pool of funds. So you're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Okay, this is a really big rabbit hole. And I feel like before we even talk about that, I think we should maybe attack when people put money into the 401k or the Roth IRA, what is happening to that money? Because it's not just a bank account that's just sitting and not doing anything, right?
Right.
That money's being invested into stocks, bonds, and what was the other one?
Wait, 401k does the same thing?
401k does the same thing,
Okay,
yeah. So
good to
stocks,
know.
bonds, and something else.
Yeah, stocks, bonds, real estate, international stocks.
So people's money is then getting invested. So is it possible that if somebody, let's say somebody's working somewhere for 3 years, they have $12,000 in their 401k, is it possible that that amount goes up and down depending on how the market's doing?
Absolutely, yeah. So you can earn or lose money in it depending on how you invested it. Yeah, some of the 401ks usually will give you a safe option.
Yeah.
So you have all your money in a fund that maybe just makes a little bit of interest, kind of like the bank.
Yeah.
But you're not invested. Most of the time, though, you're gonna get a list of at least 30 mutual funds that you can put your money in. That's gonna vary between stocks, bonds, real estate. So it's gonna fluctuate with the market.
Now, is the default for everybody like 90% stocks, 10% bonds, or something like that?
Well, no, you get to choose that.
Okay.
Usually, once you start a 401k, they give you an option of all these funds. A lot of the times you don't get guidance necessarily. It's just, hey, here's a menu. And again, that's where like a financial planner can help you and say, look, based on your age, your risk factors and things like that, this is how much stock or bonds you should have in your portfolio.
Yeah. So is it better that, like, depending on your situation, you might want to invest more into stocks than bonds?
Yeah, so typically the younger you are and the more time you have between today and your retirement date.
Do 100% stocks.
High risk.
You want to be diversified even if you're going to be aggressive.
Right.
You do want to have a little bit of bonds and stocks and things that are not necessarily tied to the US market, for example, international stocks and things like that, because not everything goes up or down at the same time. So you want to have, so just to give you an example, if you go 100% stocks and you have $10,000 and the market goes down 50%,
Ooh,
you're down to $5,000, right?
Right.
How much of a percentage would you need if you have 5,000 to go back up to the 10,000 you had? 100%, right? So if you had 10,000 and you lost 50%, you're down to 5.
Yeah.
But if you have 5 and you want to go up to 10, you need 100% return.
Right. So it's even riskier.
Right. So you want to be diversified, because if you have all your eggs in one basket,
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot harder to get back up there.
Right, and that's something that even though we're not super financially smart about things, we know diversifying your money is always a good way to, that way in case something doesn't happen or something crashes, you're not completely screwed out of your money,
Yeah,
right?
because you didn't put everything.
Right.
Right. So if the market's down 50, maybe you'll be down 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So going back to the 401k, then should people, because everybody gets auto enrolled into a 401k, and do people need to have that option when they have a job, or can they opt out of a 401k and then do their own?
Yeah, you can opt out. So most employers will automatically opt you in. Usually you have a 45-day period, 60 days, depending on the employer, to go in and opt out of that 401k.
Now, every year you can opt out?
You can opt out initially when you first do it, and then you just never be in it. And then if you decide to go in it later, you have that option of always opting out.
Right, but okay, so then if you start a job and then you opt in, let's say 3 years down the road, you want to opt out of it, can you do that?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's always something to consider. What I tell people is, look, if you're getting some type of match from your employer, then you want to invest at least that much, because then for every $200 you're putting in, they might be putting in another 200, right? So take advantage of that free money, especially if you plan on being there long enough.
So you mentioned there were thousands of mutual funds in a 401k when you start picking out what you want. What is some advice that helps somebody pick a good one?